story is waiting. The world that was has changed and grown. So will you.
What were the key thoughts when you created the art style of Fable?
I mean, what we wanted to do is we wanted to be unique. We also wanted a slightly European look. We wanted for the game to feel quite intimate. I mean, I think we had quite a large world, but we wanted everything to feel quite intimate. It was all about us kind of sort of exaggerated stereotypes and everything. And we wanted to pull in a distinctly kind of European feel to this whole thing. I mean, we're not kind of about tits and asses, and if I can say that on here, but, you know, we really weren't about sort of that kind of fantasy role-playing game. We wanted to be just a little bit more sophisticated. So I think, you know, the thing is that no one guy ever imposes his vision upon everybody. I mean, you know, a lot of that look came from every artist who worked on the project. And what we did was, you know, I hired just simply the best people I could find, you know, with the, you know, kind of the styles that we knew were going to complement the game as best as we could. So, I mean, it really is a product of everybody who worked on the game.
How does that art style change moving Fable 500 years into the future?
Well, I mean, we didn't want to change the art style too much because I felt that, you know, it worked very well in Fable. You know, there was a lot about it that could have been better and that we wanted to redo, and, you know, as everybody does. So all we really did is we wanted to just, we kind of say it's sort of Fable if it was done by Ridley Scott or something like that. It's just a little bit more mature, a little bit more sophisticated, but otherwise it's a formula that seems to work very well, and we don't want to tamper too much with that at all.
So in your mind, what is it that Ridley Scott does well that you will try to emulate in Fable 2?
Oh God, that's $1 million question. If people knew that, they'd everybody be making Ridley Scott films. There's a certain level of granularity to, like, you know, Ridley's work, and I'm not a big film buff, so I can't give you a fantastic kind of description. It's more of a feel kind of thing. I think his stuff is cinematically looks very unique, and there's a certain quality to the light and the kind of the way he shoots stuff. And we wanted a slightly more cinematic feel to Fable. I'm not going to say grittier or darker because it isn't, but it does have a certain, you know, a little bit more depth and to it. So yeah, that's kind of what we were looking for.
What kind of challenges is there for the art production with the next-gen consoles, would you say, like moving from Xbox PC to Xbox 360?
It's just more complicated, I guess. I mean, so much has been said about those kind of challenges, and I don't, you know, the challenge is for each studio to approach kind of differently, because a studio like ours meant that we just knew we were going to have more assets and it was going to take us more time. So that means more people, which means we need to be better managers. But, you know, I mean, you will have seen going around here that everybody approaches it differently. If you're not a big company, then, you know, excel in a small game or something like that. So I don't want to make too much out of those challenges because they are there. But in actual fact, the shift over to the new kind of consoles is more exciting than anything else. And I think any artist worth his salt, you know, really wants to work on those kind of things. Just give you a tremendous amount more freedom.